Let's take you through the product demo of the market intelligence segment. Right now, you are in the workspace section of the product. For each and every tab is a workbench. Each workbench essentially acts as a home for a collection of widgets, where each and every widget has been defined to solve for a particular analytics use case. A user can create any number of custom workbenches apart from a system generated default workbench. Now, a workbench can consist data and widgets for only one specific category. In this case, category is a combination of article type and gender, such as men's t-shirts, women's dress, etc. Now let's create a workbench. Let me select men's t-shirts as a category and select Ajio, Flipkart and Myntra that I am interested as the computer marketplaces and create. You can see these empty slots where I can import a widget based on the kind of use case that I am looking to solve for. Each and every widget is also tagged for the particular use case that it is associated with. Now, this is the widget store where all the widgets we show to the user. Let's take a use case that our internal pricing team solves for day in, day out, where they want to know how different products are priced in different discount buckets across the competitor marketplaces. So let's select discount, and so essentially I want a discount range versus marketplace kind of a graph. I select this. This right side section works as a help section for the widget. It also shows you what are the different related widgets for the use case that you are looking to solve for. Let me click next, and these are the discount buckets. The user can select what buckets that he is interested in this widget add section. The marketplaces that the user had selected for are already coming as pre-selected. And let's take for example last 3 months. Now this is the data based on the selection that the user has made in the widget configuration. I'll just click add it, and this widget gets saved to my workbench. This essentially gives the user a view of how products are priced in the various discount buckets in the different marketplaces. For example, I can see the Flipkart is going hard in the 40 to 50% discount range, whereas Ajio is going hard in the 50 to 60% discount range, and compare them with Myntra overall. Going to the widget configuration panel again, if you want to hone in for a very particular set of data points, you can do that using the various filters that we have provided out here. For example, a particular set of brands maybe. There is also another use case that we have solved for by introducing the z-axis. Z-axis is the trellis axis which enables the user to break the entire dataset of a widget across relevant dimensions. For example, in this discount range versus marketplace kind of a graph, what if I want to know that how are products distributed in the in-stock and out-of-stock categories? So for that, I just select the availability as a z-axis and select, for example, in-stock and out-of-stock. What happens is that the entire dataset of the widget gets broken down into two graphs so that a user can have an even better view of what is going on in the markets. And I click save widget, the widgets get saved to my workbench. Given the fact that there are a combination of graphs right now for this particular widget, the visualization has changed, as you can see. Going back, I can also select which graph I want to see in the workbench by selecting that graph as the primary widget for this use case. Now suppose I want to know what are the products that constitute these numbers in these cells, right? So for example, let's select on this, that what are these 80 products anyway? What kind of products are they? Let's give it some time to load. Now, these are all the products which constitutes that cell. I can see them based on some sorting criteria as well. Now, moving on to the next section of the product, we'll talk about the consumer demand clusters or CDCs. In the fashion industry, generally consumer demand is not specific to a particular product or style, right? So to understand consumer demand with a reasonable level of accuracy, we have created attribute clusters of products considered similar by customers based on visual features, attributes, price points, etc. So in essence, CDCs are design clusters of similarly behaving products from a consumer demand perspective. Right now we have defined CDCs for men's t-shirts, and that is why we get to see men's t-shirts out here. I can also zero in on a particular set of CDCs based on their price ranges and attributes. Right now I'll click search for this. So all the CDCs for men's t-shirts, which is 70, is being shown to the user. I can just go inside this CDC to see how this CDC has been behaving over time. This insights page is designed to work as a report card for a particular CDC. This also has a bunch of widgets, and if I go inside these widgets, I'll get to see what are the products which constitutes these points in these widgets, just like in the workbench section of the product. Moving on to the next section, it is the consumer insights section of the product. Now, this entire section is designed to give you consumer demography related insights. And how are these insights given to you? They are given on the basis of the Myntra consumer cohorts, which have been defined by the marketing team. Right now, there are 11 consumer cohorts defined based on the buying behavior of each and every consumer. Now out here you select the category, and out here this is very important, you have to select the brand for which you want to see the data and that brands against whom you want to benchmark the entire analysis. For Myntra users, they will be able to select the competing brands. When it comes to external users, we are going to predefine these competing brands for the external users based on the brand, article and gender configuration, which is a bag. Moving on, once you select them, then you get to see this, which is for men's jeans your brand is Wrangler and competing brands are these. You get to see a bunch of metrics which are across the different cohorts. Okay, so out here urban value seeker men, urban trailblazer men and wake up Sid are the three different cohorts that are coming for men's jeans, and you get to see these metrics which are very important, like conversion ratio, new users and products return ratio, etc., where this is your data and the grade data in the column graphs are the average of all competitors in these graphs. Going down, you can also see the data for each and every cohort, which is cohort specific. Within the cohort specific data as well, we have separated out the insights and analysis in two segments. One is for your brand, which is Wrangler, and one is for your brand versus competitors. Out here is Wrangler versus competitors. You get to see a comparison of the conversion ratio. You get to see how your products are being bought and returned, what is the return ratio, and how the different competitors' products are being bought and returned, how returns are impacting your revenue, how returns are impacting the competitors' revenue, what kind of search strings are people using when they are buying products from you, and what kind of search strings are people using when they are buying products from your competitors, etc. Moving on to the your brand section, which is particularly for Wrangler, you get to see the state-wise revenue distribution, where is your revenue coming from exactly, and this is essentially a heat map, and you get to see one consolidated view of the entire transaction funnel, and there will be a bunch of other graphs out here, etc. So this section gives you an understanding of which consumer cohorts are behaving in what kind of way for you and for your competing brands.